hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I treat, cure, prevent, diagnose any diseases. But I do help people reduce symptoms, and they feel better. They're more reductive. They enjoy life more, and they feel a lot better. And not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power. And it's been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. And I have done 9 half marathons so far. Mindset's the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing your health, whatever that may be, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. And it's also imperative to manage your emotions and release those low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all that's going to do is slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has balances, I help my clients release those emotional balances and baggage so they can uplift to a better, happier, healthier life. In turn, they are releasing their stress and reshaping their core beliefs. And they're getting healthier too. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, as in victory.com/linktree, LINKTREE. And I'll guide you to that better, happier, healthier life with custom natural holistic solutions unique to you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. Today, I'm thrilled to have back Dr. Laura Dennison, a naturopathic doctor and a master herbalist. We work together as a team. Dr. Laura has several certifications, including Doctor of Naturopathy, Bachelor's in Natural Medicine, Master Herbalist Holistic Practitioner, Certified Iridologist, and a Certified Nutritional Consultant. And now, and she has over 25 years of experience of formulating her own line of herbal supplementation called Stay Natural. Now she works with individuals and families, where she helps them identify the root causes of their illnesses, restore optimal function, and empower them with tools for lifetime wellness. Similar to me, but she's a naturopathic doctor, and I work with her. Her approach blends evidence-based natural medicine with compassionate care, and she's addressing the whole person, not just symptoms. The true health is not merely the absence of disease, but the presence of vitality and balance. If you're ready to take a proactive, natural approach to your well-being, she'd be honored and happy to help guide you through your journey to your lasting health. And so will I. So we'll be discussing how to reverse the clock with cellular wellness. So let's welcome Dr. Laura Dennison, a naturopathic doctor and master herbalist, and so much more, back to my show. Dr. Dennison, Laura Dennison, welcome back to my show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back.
I'm really happy you're able to make back. It's been a long time. So, and I love our topic today too, cellular wellness. So this is going to be really cool. Now, what does anti-aging really mean from a natural and cellular health perspective?
Well, we think about natural, anti-aging, and we just think about our skin, okay? And we think about when we get that first wrinkle, oh my goodness, I got to go out and get some collagen. I got to go get some wrinkle cream or different things like that. And what I want people to understand that when you start seeing different things, okay, like that, then you're starting to have cellular breakdown, okay? So the aging process is happening on the inside. And so I love talking about, and you guys, we're not talking about looks today. We're not talking about the aging that you see on the outside. I want people to understand that they can live a long and healthy life. I want you to die young at a ripe old age. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what that means is you're going to feel good until the aging process and until we leave this earth. And you can do that if you're providing the body with the right things.
Yeah. The only thing that you're explaining at the beginning, people see it visually with the skin, but it's not only on your skin, like you're saying earlier, it's also internally that you cannot see. So that's what you're saying.
It's your cellular wellness. It's your mitochondria, which is your powerhouse. And so certain symptoms, I like how you, on your introduction of the show of what you do, you were talking about emotions, you were talking about, stress, fear, anxiety, all of these break down cellular function, and, they kill our cells, and we have so many different cells, and that mitochondria is trying to protect that cellular function to give us the corrected energy. It's our powerhouse, it's our energy house. And so when we're exposed to these different toxins, especially in our environment, which more of those are coming to light, that you hear a lot about. You also hear a lot of things about hormones like elevated cortisol. And all of these are things that ages the process of the body. And so symptomize, if you're fatigued, lack of sleep, different things, this all can lead into cellular wellness. And so we can reverse the clock. We really can. And it can be anti-aging, but I want you to feel good. It really doesn't, I love that people say, my goodness, you never age. And, I love that because I've been in the natural health business for a long time. And I've been on some fantastic supplements for over 25 years. And, when we go to class reunions, we look a lot younger, and it's just that we did things different. Okay. But it's not too late. Not too late at all.
It's not too late. But a lot of people fall into making mistakes. So what are the biggest mistakes people make that actually speed up the aging process?
Well, and I touched on it just a minute ago, but our biggest mistake is not to recognize the symptoms. Okay. So recognize that you're holding on to inflammation. Your before and after picture. I go back to thinking about where you were holding a lot of inflammation. Okay. You were slowing your aging process, even though you went on a weight loss journey, you started feeding your body the nutrients that your body was requiring. But a constant state of stress. And we live in an environment right now and with a lot of my clients, we actually talk about that almost the first thing, because our mind can actually set up for us to fail. And so that chronic stress, that can speed up. That's a very big mistake. But your hormones, understanding that, sometimes it could be hormonal problems, blood sugar speeds up the aging process. It is like so harmful to the body. Inflammation, sleep, just even digestion. Okay. Even thinking about how our systems work with digestion can actually speed up the aging process, because you're not getting the nutrients that you should be, because maybe you have a digestion problem. Those cells, those mitochondria, it's just waiting those powerhouses are waiting to see what food you're going to ingest and how you're going to give it oxygen to let it live a good life inside that cell. Okay. And so, so you have to really look at what you're feeding it, processed foods, diet, lack of sleep, hydration. We talk about one of the biggest mistakes, and I really harp on a lot of, because I make sure that I am hydrated. But when we talk about hydration and the mistakes, you have to talk about not just the water, you have to talk about the minerals that you're lacking. Okay. Because that's part of the hydration process. Electrolytes are really big right now, but there's a lot more things that goes into hydrating that cell. Okay. Mm-hmm. So nutrients, your essential fatty acids. So biggest mistakes is recognizing what we put in. Okay. Is it going to feed your body? Is it going to feed that cell, help that mitochondria, or is it going to actually harm it? And so processed foods, toxins, those things. And another thing that is the biggest mistake is lack of movement. For our bodies, movement is so critical for the aging process. And now I do work with a lot of people that maybe they're homebound a little bit. And you guys, movement can be just even lifting up your legs. Okay. Movement can be breath work, learning how to really breathe in and breathe out, creating that wellness within oxygen. But the last thing that's the biggest mistake is understanding our emotions. Both of us are blessed to have a wellness scan. And you guys, this is a very, get with Debi, because one big part of this wellness scan, you use your phone. Okay. But one big part of it is it goes into toxic stress in your emotions. Sometimes the emotions that we carry, we don't realize that it's causing our cells, to be unhappy, and you're not having that energy. And it's because of our thoughts. It's our mind, what we're feeding, anxiety. And, a lot of times it goes back through trauma. So there's things that sometimes you need to work with somebody that's licensed or even, just being aware that the things that you tell yourself every day could actually create the acceleration of aging. And, bringing back joy and peace and love and different things. It does really help the aging process.
Yeah, because those low vibrational emotions do slow you down. And I said physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And they really do. I mean, you don't realize that time goes by because you're so fixated on something that's a low vibrational currents or emotion that you're in. You don't realize that it is creating that extra layer. I call it an extra layer of inflammation in your body, which can lead to chronic diseases. People need to be more tuned into their body and their mind, because the mental state causes stress just as much as the physical state, because it causes the physical state too. So they kind of collide, and it's important to pay attention to that. And unfortunately, our foods these days don't have the right mineral intake in our food. So we really need to supplement these days to fill up those holes like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Because we do have gaps. Our bodies are like Swiss cheese. But it's important to pay attention to what you eat. Like you said, don't eat those processed foods, because they really, people talk about empty calories. Well, those are really empty calories. They mean nothing, but you're gaining weight because of it.
Well, and besides the empty calories, since you're saying that, is what chemicals, what toxins are going to get stored.
Exactly.
Sometimes eliminating those processed foods, all of a sudden your mental capacity just, you don't have those chemicals combating your body. And so even just eliminating those processed foods can be miraculous whenever it comes to your health.
And those toxins get stored in your fat too. So releasing your weight will help you release toxins as well. But you got to keep on that clean, toxic-free diet that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. So now we talked about the mistakes and we kind of give some hints about habits, but I don't go into that again. What are 3 simple habits the daily habits that can slow down. Well, we talked about food and we talked about toxins and restore energy. But why don't we reverse that question? What are 3 daily habits that actually would be a lot better for you to, actually help you gracefully age and give you energy?
Well, prioritizing your daily habits. I mean, you guys making the mindset shift to saying, you know what, these symptoms that I'm having, this inflammation that I'm having, I have a red face, I look, I'm getting these wrinkles. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do different. So I'm going to prioritize my life, and I'm going to be committed to changing. And, eliminating the diet. I mean, that's, sort of a given, but it's not always easy. Just taking small steps can even help with that. But for prioritizing what you actually put in, okay? And so we're very big, if you're listening to this for the very first time, we're very big on what your body is lacking, okay? And so when we talk about hydration and we talk about prioritizing these nutrients, you have to be very consistent. And so here's a few of my favorite supplements, okay? Like she says, you guys, I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I am doing very well on the aging whenever it comes to people that's not on nutrients, okay? And so, but I'm able to recognize the symptoms. But one of the key products that we have that we are coupled with is these plant-derived minerals, and putting the minerals back in the body, because a lot of the reason why you eat the bad foods is because you have different mineral deficiencies, different vitamin deficiencies that actually will cause you to crave these bad carbs, or will cause you to crave different things. So like chromium and vanadium, but these plant-derived minerals sort of really helps, because you're really actually starving yourself whenever you go and you eat the wrong foods, okay? Because you're getting these empty calories, you're not getting anything to feed those powerhouses, that mitochondria, your cells, okay? That's the reason why you don't have any energy. And so, these minerals are super important. Now, vitamins, okay? Now, this is my one from Stay Natural, okay, that I developed eons ago. I know Debbie uses what's called Tangy Tangerine. Both of those are fantastic, because that's replacing your vitamins, okay? That's very important to get into a habit of making sure you're taking the corrected nutrition, okay? Corrected nutrition, and the last third part of that pie of these 9 essential nutrients that we are reliant on is what's called essential fatty acids, okay? This is fish oil, okay? And it's your omega-3s. And I'm telling you what, a lot of people, they'll start taking the omega-3s, and then all of a sudden they feel that hydration in their skin. Okay. Well, think about what it's doing on the inside. Okay. Even, going to more salmon during the week, going to more, now on Facebook, there's a big sardine kick. Okay. Of eating sardines. I haven't got there yet. I rely on this a little bit more.
I like salmon better than sardines. That's for sure.
Okay. So do you do sardines yet?
They're too salty.
No. Okay. So I'm not on a kick on that. So those nutrients is going to help you on the deficiencies. It's going to help that mitochondria. It's going to help those powerhouses to give you the energy. People notice so many different things that change when they start supplements. So that's just one habit. Okay. Is you got to have the corrected nutrition. Number 2 is to stabilize your blood sugar. Nothing is worse than stabilizing your blood sugar. You guys, sugar is the enemy. I'm just telling you this. And you can find things that you can do sugar substitutes like stevia or lohan fruit, or honey is natural, but it's got a lot of carbohydrates to it. So you got to watch that if you're on the weight loss program. But you got to eat enough protein. You got to have healthy fats. You got to have fats, fiber. These are all crucial whenever it comes to stabilizing blood sugar. Okay. Just making that switch, just some swaps is going to really help. And then the third thing is that a daily habit is you got to move every day. You know, you can't, okay, so daily schedule, okay, is not doing the extra movement. Okay. So when I say your daily schedule, if you're, you work at an office and you go, back and forth to the copy machine, and that's good movement. Okay. Than just sitting at your desk for a long time, but try to take the stairs or try to do something extra to help with that movement. Okay. At the grocery store, park at the furthest one out and walk into the grocery store. That's just getting this extra movement. Okay. And here's why this is so important. One, it helps our mental, besides the physical, but it improves the circulation, it improves lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic system is the powerhouse to get rid of these toxins. Okay. Yes. So just doing things to increase the lymphatic system, detoxification, it helps the mitochondria health. And like I said, it doesn't have to be extreme. These could be daily habits that you just change, that are simple, that get you on the road to, because, Debbie's a superstar. Okay. She did these daily habits, and then all of a sudden she started doing marathon running. Okay. So you guys, she didn't start marathon running first. No, she did the daily habits,
but I didn't run.
And, so it's these daily habits that will get you to a further goal, but it helps your aging process, all of these daily habits. And I also encourage people to, because with that mindset, sometimes with my clients, they just don't feel like they can go walking, that they're just not there on their mind because they have the stress and they have the different things. Okay. And so sometimes you have to do a little bit more, like breath work or meditation, grounding, just to release the stress and do it smaller, maybe time in prayer, gratitude, affirmations, because sometimes when you're stuck, it's those positive affirmations, and maybe you're not getting it from someone close to you, but you're the most important thing. Okay. On those positive affirmations. And so, that helps the emotional and the spiritual, but it plays an important part of our aging. Things that used to stress me, because I did go through a period of time in my life that I had a lot of elevated cortisol. I still deal with that at times, but, turning, things that really bother me, I go do something that really brings me peace. And so that daily shift, because if you stay in that dark place every day, it's hard to see any, rainbows or the sunshine, because you're still in a dark place. But those are just some simple daily habits that I think is very important to do.
And these habits are wonderful, Dr. Laura, because I obviously do them. But when it comes to movement, people need to pick something they like, because they're more likely to do it. And that's why I always have people, take small steps. I was told to take 10,000 steps a day when I was doing my weight loss journey. And you know what I did? Like, I gave the advice you gave about parking far away, using stairs, doing things like that. All I could do at that time was walking, but it was painful for me. But I did it because I was committed to make myself healthier. So if you really want to become healthier, you need to set your mind to it. Say, I'm going to do this, and I'll find things that I love, and maybe Zumba, and maybe I was doing Pilates, and that's all I was really doing, that, and walking on the treadmill at that time. But then I was so, I became unleashed when I got off that treadmill and started running. And because I was outside, I just love being outside. And outside, I think I said on one of these podcasts, maybe the last one, it's ecotherapy. Listening to those breezes, listening to those birds, watching the trees tremble from the breeze, or the cool feeling on your face. All that is bringing down your stress. It's making you feel good. Sometimes it's making you laugh because the squirrel's doing something funny. He's kind of like trying to race you, and then he stopped and then he races, things like that. And, it's just a matter of enjoying life, right?
Absolutely. And finding that peace. But you talk about walking, and because that's my happy place is to walk outside. And you mentioned a lot of funny things. There's a lot of funny things that you can find on a walk. I mean, that because but your mind is clear and you're in tune. Okay. And you have that daily commitment. And if I miss a day walking, it just sometimes really messes up my day. And so I have to figure out other things that I can do, like, especially if you're caring for someone or you've had some things in the past recently. Yeah. And so you got to get back into that daily habit. I mean, and that's what really helps me. And it sounds like it helps you too.
Oh yeah. I always go out and run whatever I can, and even in the heat. but I just do it. But because the home I'm in is way too small to do much walking in. So unfortunately, but walking at the market's walking. And so it's just getting out there and just not being in a cave, so to speak. You don't want to be that cave girl, caveman, or whatever. Just enjoy the world outside. Enjoy what's going on in your life, and it's going to uplift your mood, and you'll feel a lot less stress, and it's going to help your mental outlook as well. And I know during the time that we were in that pandemic, I would wave at everybody and say hello, and that just put a beam on their face. They were happy that someone was talking to them. So reach out and talk to somebody, and they will put, just like Laura's smiling, they're going to start smiling. Interaction is so important these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even though we're not like we were back then, it's still important these days.
Absolutely.
Now, you have really touched on, you touched on faith and mindset and stress playing a role as we age. Is there anything else you want to highlight? Because I know believing you're going to do what you're going to do and keeping yourself in that affirmation and doing it. I mean, I actually committed to what I was doing, and I was considered a star loser, but I did it, and I never doubted anything. I just put my mind to it and did it. But you also have to have a belief of what's going on, currently, as well as in the future. And understanding that I'm going to be XYZ when I get healthier, and pull that belief that's going to draw you to that result. That's what vision boards are for, or future forecasting and things like that, and mantras and everything else. So what do you do for that type of thing?
Well, understanding that your body responds, especially your central nervous system, it responds to the chronic fear. It responds to the chronic stress. It responds to, in the way of giving you inflammation, giving you fatigue, poor sleep. Sleep is another critical component of aging, because that's where our body restores itself. But if you're always have that anxiety or even bitterness to like a neighbor or a friend, or that stress just keeps your body in survival mode. Okay.
Yes, it does.
So everything you're always in that fight or flight, and cortisol is such a wonderful hormone when you have it in check. But when you have these constant, because your body is being inundated, and just bombarded with this chronic things, that's whenever it turns into chronic disease. Okay. So being aware and being more mindful, we've talked about a lot of things today, but understanding that it is going to age you faster than anything is if you're always in that constant fight or flight. Like, you're barely putting one step in front of the other. I mean, yes, you're getting one step, or you're getting out of bed and you're doing, but you've got to do, and it doesn't matter your age, you guys, you can stop the aging process. You can start feeling good. All of these things that we talked about, all of these daily habits, the different supplementation. Now, I forgot two important products, and I'm going to add it right here. Okay. Because I really believe that the Stay Young product, okay, super antioxidants. Okay. We talk a lot about high protein, your fats, and so one thing that we're missing, especially whenever we do, like, say, high protein, low carbohydrate, sometimes we miss out on our fruits, okay, these antioxidants, because they contain a lot of natural sugar. And so, so this is a great product to bring in those antioxidants, okay? Antioxidants, tries to fight. I know a lot of people, they get on that. I've seen their gray hair turn black, okay? It's because it crosses over the blood-brain barrier, and it actually does things for the cells, okay? This is cellular wellness, and it really, super antioxidants do that. Another one, especially on the aging of the brain, okay? And sometimes the stress and different things like that, is the Renew IQ.
I love that product.
It's
my
huge.
son uses it every day.
It's huge whenever it comes to, and then the great thing about who Debbie and I are partnered with is we have tons of collagen products. Okay. Collagen is another, I personally like this one, but collagen really helps. Okay. People, that's a buzzword. People want the collagen. We just came out with a new collagen creamer that they redid. And so, but those are tools. Okay. It has nothing to do with your, if you're still eating bad, if you're not moving, it's going to help you feel a little bit better, and maybe it will get you to where you are moving. But these are very anti-aging. Those are anti-aging products. It doesn't take away from the nutrients that you have, to start the process. But, one thing I guess I would suggest is for people to understand that at any age, you can feed the body, you can start moving, you can start doing all the things, you can start having positive talk with yourself.
Yeah, flip that switch. Yes.
Flip that switch. And, and sometimes it's hard, okay? So you have to look at where you've been, okay? You got to flip that switch, and then you start waking up and saying, oh my gosh, let's go, okay? Let's do this. Oh my goodness. Laura, you can do it. Oh my goodness, Debbie, you can do it. You start feeling that because you start feeling better. Well, what you're doing for the body is you're giving it cellular, you're feeding that mitochondria, you're feeding the dopamine, the serotonin, all these different hormones that that you needed assistance with. And every day is not going to, every day hasn't been a holiday ever since Debbie has gotten well. Okay. But she knows that she has all the tools, right? And she has all the things. There's always going to be something that comes in your life. Okay. And so always give yourself grace. And so get up and do it again and flip that switch.
Yeah. Cause, and you can even look, when you flip that switch, it could be I always tell people it could be a small grain in an hourglass. It adds up in time, that gratitude. People don't really understand the power of gratitude. It can layer upon itself, and it can help you, get over whatever you've been down in the dumps about. And so that's helping your mindset, is helping your body to be more efficient, because you're bringing your body vibration to a higher level of, emotion, and you're making yourself feel so much better. And just recently you were talking about things that really help people if they feel like their body's breaking down, and to help reverse that process. You talked about collagen, and we're talking about cellular wellness. Is there any other products, maybe like selenium, or other products that that would help with the mitochondria, as well as with cellular wellness?
Yes. And okay, so selenium is a super antioxidant. Okay. It's different. Okay. Because it's a mineral. The Stay Young comes at it as citrus bioflavonoids, pine bark extract, things that cross over the blood-brain barrier. Well, selenium, which most people are deficient in selenium. And so, but it works as a super antioxidant. And so that cellular energy, sometimes people will start supplementing. Now you have to have the good selenium, which we do have that, but sometimes people will just start supplementing with that and feel a huge difference. I mean, because that's a deficiency. Another, because we have a lot of herbs that I love. Okay. We have the Good Herbs brand. We have the antioxidant response. Okay. That's another, it's in a tincture. Then we have Cell Shield RTQ.
Yes.
It's a powerful super antioxidant. And, and when we talk about vitamins and stuff, you guys, vitamin C alone, okay, is pretty fantastic. It's a super, zinc is another nutrient that if you're feeling blue, okay, it can actually help to raise your moods. Vitamins and minerals play such a crucial role in our health, with our emotions. When you're feeling something, it's usually a deficiency. When you have a symptom of something, it's usually a deficiency. And so just understanding, and the great thing is you don't have to go to school to understand all these nutrients. We're helping educate you to be able to do it. But when you find the right nutrients, it can be life-saving. I mean, it really can. And I'm saying that, and because I've seen it, I know it. It's just pretty amazing when you start putting the right things in. You talk about collagen, because Longevity, our company, in the mineral sticks, it's got extra collagen. We're putting collagen in a lot of the products, which is really fantastic.
Yeah, and collagen, it's great for the connective tissue, and there's different types of collagen that we offer for different reasons. So there's a variety of things you can select, even a liquid collagen, which I haven't tried. But another thing is that you need things that work with cofactors. That's why they combine things in different products, and your products as well. It's just, you need things to work together as a marriage, so it's cohesive and you get healthier over time.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else that you want to add before we go to your offer?
The only other thing I would say, because you said something and it brought me up another thing, but you were talking about gratitude, and sometimes if you're in a funk, it's hard to see good out there. And so sometimes being visual, and I know we talk about this all the time, but getting just a simple book. I always find one that says a good wording on the outside, and start doing a gratitude journal, because that can also get you out. Because, just sometimes the sun coming up, oh, I seen a cardinal, sometimes there's so many things that if you're feeling like there's nothing to be grateful for, sometimes by writing things down, even if you started with 2 or 3 things a day that you're so grateful for, it can actually, help, get you to the next level. So when you said the gratitude and changing and flipping that switch, sometimes you have to be visual with that as well. But you guys, the thing is you can stop the aging process. I look forward every birthday. I look forward to it. Okay. Because I know it's just a number. Because for me, I know that I'm anti-aging because I'm feeling good. So when I get into my 80s, 90s, 100s, however I make it, I feel like I'm going to feel good through the aging process. And, aging gracefully and understanding that you're supposed to live a long and full life and feeling good while you have that life is something that you can have. Anybody can have that.
Anyone can have, because age is just a number, and you don't have to feel what people thought 60 or 50 were. So it's just something that people put a stigma on, and they shouldn't. Now, we may have time for more in the closing remarks, but why don't we talk about your offer right now?
Okay, so I am offering 25% off of any of my services on my website. So you can go there, and it's LauraDennisonND.com, and just put the coupon code Debi Changes Lives. Okay, just Debi Changes Lives. It is an ongoing offer that I have extended to Debi, because like she says, we work pretty well together. And so it's a safe place, but go get signed up if you want to become a client. And like I said, it's a safe place. I do over an hour consultation. And so any of my services, you can get that. If you want to do iridology, we can read your eyes as well. So that's another one of my services that I add on there.
That's cool. And the QR code is for her website. So, and then you use the coupon code Debi Changes Lives for that discount once you're on her website, and it's at LauraDennisonND.com. So this is a wonderful offer. Thank you, Laura. And I will have you back on my show. And so please stick around for closing remarks, and you may have more time. Okay? So everybody, remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I start off with your gut and mindset, and I can help you with, brain and heart, bone and joint, as well as hormones and blood sugar and immunity. I also help people who are, anxious up to athletes, because I am guiding you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrient products that reduce symptoms. You'll feel better, possibly will uplift your mood, and maybe even release some weight. I release an additional 20 pounds, making it 70. Now, with my mindset coaching, I help you release that stress, emotions, emotional entanglements, as well. And there, as you're reshaping your core beliefs are so important. And your mindset would be enhanced. With my health optimization and weight release, your body is more efficient. That's a mind-body connection that makes your heart and soul sing. So ask me about my program, set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, as in Victory, ES.com/Linktree, LINKTREE. You can also use that QR code. And when you do that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you to your optimal health. And it begins with 1 or 2 assessments. Now, the first one is a health evaluation, where you rate your symptoms the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions overlap into multiple categories. Answer them all. You get a baseline score, and don't be scared of it if it's a large number. I'll review it with you, and I'll create that custom natural holistic strategy for you. And we will reduce that number as time goes on a monthly basis. I also have 2 different body scans. I prefer to do ViseraLink because I can send it remotely and internationally. It's actually gone to Australia and South Africa. ViseraLink is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send you a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds, and it's going directly in your skin, looking at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. And the emotional component is such a hidden gem, as Laura mentioned, because in traditional Chinese medicine, emotion is tied into an organ. So anger can be tied into the liver. Just food for thought. But in case this report creates a wellness report, not a diagnosis, of biomarkers out of range and products and services that bring it back into range. It's quite an intensive report, so I do review it with you. The cost is $75. But when you move forward with a product or a program, I give you a $25 credit toward one of them. The ViseraLink is that transdermal optical imaging app, also known as TOI, and you can look up its accuracy at pubmed.gov. That's pubmed.gov. People are really amazed when they what their body says in this scan, and you'll be too. Curious? Get it done, or ask me questions on my consultation site. And also on that site are my programs. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can be utilizing a new version of you to drive you to your success. All coaching is done on Zoom, and the first one's always private to you because I'm a certified HIPAA health practitioner. Any evaluation is private. I go through those evaluations. I give you a choice, and I give you a choice of between 3 programs. One is a natural approach to the GLP-1 with no injections. And once you choose one of those programs, I give you the directions. I also give you instructions how to create a new version of you that's going to drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformational journey. That's what emotions do. They can propel you to do things in a positive way. And the rest of the coaching, whereas in group or private, are the same. We'll be celebrating your wins. I'll be showing you how to use your boards, and I'll guide you over gaps with health and mindset tips. You'll become a new you. You need to ask me questions at my consultation site because now things have changed a lot with these programs. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, Why Fast is for you. It's an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming, and in turn boosts metabolism for rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients, and a program of exercises and recipes. Here you can ask me questions. If you feel like you need some coaching, you can use a 2 or 4 week program, and you would pay for that. If you need more coaching, you can pay as you go along. You can also use these smaller programs for mindset enhancement as well as health optimization. truly the larger programs are more economical, but I can also create a custom program for you that may be a shorter span of time because everyone is their own unique fingerprint of health. And I also offer a natural approach to the GLP-1 that we mentioned before. You want to go to the next slide? And that is YGY 30-day GLP-1 support system. And as I mentioned before, the GLP support system has no injections. Actually, the first product is a shot that you drink called Elevate. It elevates your GLP-1. You drink that for 10 days. Then you would drink for the next 20 days, Activate, which is another drink. They'll keep your elevated and boost your GLP-1s so you can release weight. For the whole 30 days, you would drink the YGY Regulate, which is a daily fiber that regulates bowel movements and gets rid of all those toxins that we talked about earlier, which the medical community didn't think about at that time. Ask me about this natural approach to the GLP-1 by going to my link tree, which is at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLives as in victory es.com/linktree LINKTREE. And I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Finally, learn more about alternative health services, products, programs, offers, articles, blogs, upcoming shows, events, and promos by subscribing to my newsletter at DebiChangesLives.com. This time /radio TV show, all in lowercase is one word, or use that QR code. And I give you a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Now you're wondering why I did that, as well as water, food, supplements, and exercise on a daily basis. You even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. See your wins to celebrate. Find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging that gap, contact me for coaching. This journal is a wonderful health and mindset tool. I'm certain that you found this show educational, informative, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, products, programs, and offers, and reach out to Dr. Laura for her services and offers. And remember, we work as a team. Do we have time for Dr. Laura to come back?
Hello.
Do you have something else you want to say?
Well, I just want to remind people, you guys, it's not perfection, it's just progress. So every day, just take that step forward and give yourself grace. If you mess up, there's always going to be times that there's going to be days that you're not on task. Okay. But do the daily small things, the small steps. But it's progress, not perfection. Progress over perfection.
Yeah, progress over perfection. That's so important because perfectionism is just actually going to slow you down because you're tearing yourself apart. That's not, and that's emotion that you don't want to do. You want to praise yourself, right? So that's why it's so important to just let go of the perfection and value your worthiness and do something about yourself and activate your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Laura, thank you for being on my show. This was a wonderful episode, and I'll have you back again. So continue to watch my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.
Thank you.